My name is Sarah.
I'm Charlotte.
We're the Command sisters. Our last name is Command. We're sisters. Pretty frequently asked question, believe it or not. Like, a lot of people are like, are you guys even related? Like, how did you make, like, your band name? And yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, we've been singing together since, like, most sister bands, like 6 and 9. We started out in country music, actually. Grew up in small rural Alberta, which took us to Nashville, LA, New York. We got to play shows in China. And then here we are now, like, releasing our debut alternative pop record, which is, like, insane. And the response has been really great.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, we just got signed to our label a couple years ago now. And, yeah, it's exciting. So.
And we love Toronto. Like, Toronto was, like, the city that definitely allowed us to, like, hone our sound by the scene here and everything,
No, that's amazing. But yeah, before we dive into the music, I really should ask, how have you guys been during quarantine? How has it been for you guys as musicians, as people?
Yeah.
It's been a little weird, I guess. I feel like everybody's in the same boat. All of a sudden you can't tour. Like, we were planning on actually doing, like, a huge tour, a radio tour, and a show in New York right in April, right when everything was kind of happening. To, like, start promoting our debut single at the beginning of the year. Obviously that got canceled, so it's been kind of strange getting used to doing Zoom performances and all this other stuff,
Zoom interviews
and filming everything and just putting it out on the internet, and that's basically it. But it's been really great for my creativity and my writing, so just kind of taking it how it is and just doing what you can. But I've been good as a person. Sarah's been good, less social life, I guess, but things are good.
It's like any creative, you have to adapt, right, to so many different things that are changing all the time. And I think a lot of musicians are doing the same, where it's like, now's the time where we can connect with people on social media that we maybe didn't connect with before. Or, you're at home, you can write more songs than you did before when you were distracted by, like, everyday life. So we're, like, trying to adapt to it.
Yeah. In the same boat with everyone, really.
Yeah, exactly. Even for me, I didn't think I would miss in-person interviews, but now it's like with so many Zoom interviews, I'm like, I don't even remember what it was like doing in person, but it's still amazing that I still get to, do interviews and things like that.
You're right. Yeah, I feel like we're at the point where it's been, it's almost a year since the beginning of the pandemic, I guess. And now it's like, it's going to feel weird to go back the other way, I think, to some extent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know you guys have, your origin roots kind of in country, but in this kind of like new industry that we're kind of currently in, it's kind of like really genreless. So do you guys see it that way in the music that you make, and talk about kind of that vein in it as well?
Yeah, well, when we recorded our debut EP, which a couple of the songs are out now, so, like, I Like It came out, I Can Do What I Want To, which was our first track, and our recent single, Lullaby. We recorded that with a guy named Tim Pagnotta, and Tim is based out of LA, and he was, like, before I even met him, I was a fan of his work, which was, like, insane. Like, he did tons of Blink-182, Walk the Moon, Neon Trees, El King. Yeah. So, like, tons of bands that, like, we
looked up to and loved. And
he was just he's so talented at, like, incorporating, like, really cool guitar sounds into pop-leaning alternative music. And I think, in a way, with that record, it was so cool because I felt like we almost kind of brought in, like, the main points of what made us country artists, which was, like, having the harmonies, having the guitar solos, having, like, the lyrical content, like, telling the story, but by intertwining, like, heavy rock guitar. And I think Tim was, like, the perfect person to kind of meld all those worlds together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, and like you said, like, I mean, I love tons of hip-hop beats. Like, we were like, oh, we should, like, do, like, a major, like, bass moment here, like, I don't know, like, as soon as, like you said, everything blends.
Things being genreless, I feel like I always felt that way. I never felt like we fit into one specific box. Like, as a writer, even being in the country world growing up, I never felt fully country. Like, I loved singer-songwriter. I loved, like Sarah said, different, like, I guess rock and R&B elements that I grew up listening to, and so it's exciting now that you can combine those things. It's definitely more open
Or
for that.
crossovers.
So that's how I love to write. Just write a good song, and just you can take the production anywhere, really. So it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And as siblings, I've had the pleasure of having interviews with other acts that were siblings as well, and I always ask them, like, at what point did you guys, either individually or together, realize, this was going to work? Like, you could see a career in this. Was it Charlotte? Was it you? Or Sarah? Was it you? Like, who kind of realized, like, okay, this really can work? Us coming together.
At different moments.
I think
I think because we started so young, and like opportunities just came up out of nowhere. And like our first record that we did in Nashville, I was 12. It was like insane, and it was with this guy that had written like all these hits, and like I think I just thought probably that like this is what happens when you're in music. You get in front of record labels at 12 years old, and
opportunities just
things happen. And like I was so naive. Now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like so naive.
Yeah.
But there was a couple moments where I was like, whoa, this could maybe be a career. And I think I realized that a little bit later was when we got to tour in China. It was a part of the International Arts Festival, so like the Canadian government brought over 8 acts to China, and nobody in China knew who we were, but they were so incredible at making us feel like appreciated.
They actually love, and we were doing country back then. They love country music.
They love country music, and like it was like we literally felt famous in China, and we like nobody knew who we were, but like we felt famous. And like there was one moment when this one university like literally created a big surprise for us, and they had like lights going down almost like we were walking down a red carpet, and like flashing lights, and everybody's screaming and like welcoming us.
It was so crazy.
And like literally that was the moment, and then we hopped in our vehicle that was
the moment for you?
Yeah, our like escorting vehicle or whatever. Like we had a private driver, and I was just like,
this is real.
Whoa, like
funny, that
would be cool to do.
I don't remember the moment that I thought it was like, oh, this is a thing.
That was my moment. It was in China.
That's intense. I feel like I had a moment. I know the moment that I wanted to do music when I was a kid watching Billy Gilman perform a song for Michael Jackson, and I was like, I want to do that, and I was like 10 years old. But I don't. It was remember,
like the TV flashing lights movement as a child.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the moment was that I thought this could be a thing. I feel like the whole time
we're gonna submit our answer. It was China.
Okay. The whole time I think I've just been going along like,
answer.
Is this actually
happening?
Yeah, I feel like I've just been going along with the ride this whole time.
Yeah, it's still not hidden for her.
No. And with that,
still my hobby.
With all these, shows that you guys did, previously to releasing, the debut single and that, where did, I guess, the confidence come from to perform, and to be on stage and to put yourself out there, Has it been a gradual build towards that, or do you think doing all these shows helps that?
I won't speak for Charlotte. I know that, like, having grown up in a more rural community, like, jams, how do you say that? Jamborees, festivals, outdoor music festivals, indoor music festivals, like, it was just such a part of life that we played, like, gosh, when we were children, we played, like, nonstop shows. And I think now I'm, like, so appreciative of that now that we can't do that with COVID.
You realize, oh, did I take this for granted?
Oh, yeah, you hone so much of your craft and who you are as an artist by playing, like, every day. And luckily we had that in our childhood, so yeah, that took time for sure.
No, I agree. I feel like because we grew up doing it, literally, it just became this passion. And a lot of young people who get into music early in our area in Alberta, it's just a culture there. You're young and you learn to play guitar and you go to shows and there's opportunities for you.
Stage.
Yeah, there's opportunities for you, and it's really fun that they really cultivate an arts community there for young people.
Now, good question. When we go back to performing after being in my room for a year long,
it's gonna feel weird now.
I think we're gonna have to get every band's gonna feel the same.
Yeah, it's 100%. Now it's gonna feel weird, but yeah.
But on the flip side too, I think as fans, I think the cheers are just gonna be so much louder. Just
everybody is dying for, I think, A, travel, and B, music and live shows. Yeah,
for sure.
So, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
And I know you guys have an upcoming video. Talk to me about how important visuals are for you guys. With I know I got a chance to take a sneak peek with the new video, but in general, how important are visuals and getting out that part of being an artist?
Yeah, so Cheryl and I are very much yin and yang in a sense, where she writes like the majority of the music, and I kind of steer the direction of the visual component. And for us, it's just a huge form of self-expression. I feel like I get so much enjoyment out of thinking about how we can represent a song or its lyrics or its message through videos. And a lot of our following that we built online was actually prior to releasing music officially, was totally based on our visuals. And that to me was really exciting, that there's so many parts of being a musician that's so much fun, and it could be an extension of the music.
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely the visual person.
I'm not like a genius at it, but I mean, I see like people like the 1975 who I love. Like I love their visuals just as much as I love their music. Mm-hmm. Or even Drake. I can put on Drake videos. I don't even have to like put on audio, and I'm just like, I just love this guy, and it's so true.
Visuals definitely.
When I'm a music fan, I love the videos just as much as the song. Mm-hmm. So that's what we hope to try to do.
Mm-hmm. And another tidbit of being an artist, well, I wouldn't call it a tidbit, more really important part as well, it's songwriting. How important is that aspect? And in terms of, I know you guys touch upon, like in being advocates for mental health and things like that, touch upon that. I'm really a fan of, songwriters as well, because I feel like when it comes to songwriters, it's from their perspective, and you get to really understand like the artist in itself. So can you guys touch upon that?
Yeah, songwriting is a big thing. I feel like how Sarah said, we were yin and yang. She does social media or online stuff, and then I'm usually, in my room songwriting. That's kind of my part of the group. And it's what I love to do. I mean, I feel like I started songwriting before I was performing or even really learning certain other instruments. So it's a big part of our music. I'll bring a song to her and she'll add guitar and harmonies and all the cool bells and whistles that make it sound so much better. And it's really important for us to like have a voice in our music and say, this is actually written by me or co-written by me. This, was a true story, or it came from the heart. So we, that's what we love about it. And we love how our label and our team loves our original music and wants to put it out there. So yeah.
And an amazing thing this year, I know it's been like a really tough year for everybody with everything going on, but I think more now than ever, I feel like artists are now realizing their platforms and advocating with either telling people to sign petitions and protesting, doing all these amazing things. And I know I briefly just touched upon it with mental health, something that you guys really push forward at the end of it. Talk about that, because I feel like it's so important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember being like, I'm still young, but like young person like in high school, and a lot of things just didn't sit right with me, like things I didn't really understand, whether that's mental health, racism, like anti-LGBTQ, like so many things that just like didn't sit right with me. And I was afraid to speak out because you don't know how, you don't know if it's okay. You see that it's like some people are against these things and you just don't know how to process it. And I think that's what's so exciting about today and where we are at in 2020 is like people are finally being called out for what they need to be called out for. People are finally sharing the message. And it's being an artist is such a big part of that. Like if you can share a message that a 12, 13-year-old kid resonates with, and then that encourages them to share with their friends, and then future generations will like carry on that message. I think that's like such an important part of being an artist that goes so much beyond just creating music.
And I feel like we came from a period where everybody was a bit, especially I feel like in the music world, a bit untouchable. And now people are craving, whether it's a public figure or a musician or someone they're a fan of, people are craving realness and honesty and a deeper connection with those figures. Yeah. So I feel like it's important to be honest and just to tell people how you feel, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we all go through similar things. We all feel down and have rough nights, you know what I mean? So I feel like the more you can be honest and connect, the less alone everybody feels, especially in a time like now, like everybody is going through the same thing and we all are trying to deal with it, right? It's a strange time. So I feel like it's good to be honest and just talk to people.
Sure. Now, usually when I get near the end of my interviews, It's kind of been a common theme throughout my Zoom interviews where I ask the artist, usually I would say, you have upcoming shows, all these tour dates, and, that looks all exciting. How's that going to be? But of course, COVID has taken that question away.
Yeah.
So for you guys, within this journey that you guys have been a part of, what is one thing that has impressed you guys that you've seen in Charlotte? What has impressed you with Sarah and the other way around?
Impressed, I think,
like with our music or with
just throughout this journey, what's one thing that you guys have seen in each other? I guess maybe in the sense like how have you grown? I guess through this. That's really
Well, I feel like 2020 just in general has made me grow so much as a person and change my outlook on a lot of things. And kind of going back to what you said in the previous question, like how can you use your platform to do some good or to share an important message and to not always be about, hey, check out my show, check out my music.
Which is cool.
I know for me, I've changed a lot that way.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like I am impressed by, just outside of my own life, the music industry / any industry to bounce back during this time, and to see what venues and artists are doing right now. I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed by, should we, compliment each other? I'm impressed by your resilience, and I'm sure you're impressed by mine. I'm kidding. To weather the storm, and
because it's super discouraging. Obviously, it's hard to promote your music during this time. It's hard to do. Everybody's going through it. So
I'm impressed by everyone who's.
If you're watching this and you're an artist that is promoting their music during this time, you are resilient and keep doing your art, because when the world opens up again, people are going to lean on art. When
they're going to want to go to shows,
people lean on art. So art's important.
I'm impressed by everyone. And grateful for everyone who's, helping, donating, the service workers, everyone who's, doing good during this time. I'm impressed by all of it.
And on final note, with the final question, I get the privilege of talking to artists, when they're really starting out, and most of the time I get to ask them about their, their debut album or their debut EP and what that feels like to have that introduction. I know for you guys, that's kind of where you're gearing up towards with the debut EP and things like that. What does the idea of a debut mean to you guys with a debut EP?
Well, for us, it's it's 10 plus years in the making of being in a band together, so it feels like a life accomplishment. I think for a lot of singers it kind of feels like you get this edge off your, is that the analogy I'm looking for? Edge off your shoulder? You get an edge.
I know what you mean.
You get you relieve this pressure of I've been dying to say all these words for so many years and I finally get to do it.
Yeah, it feels very special for us. It feels like I suppose the beginning, even though it's not the beginning for us, because we recorded a lot of albums over the years that we never released, or just released them informally, because we were still learning and trying to discover our sound. And this one we're so proud of, because it's the first official, this is who we are. We're coming out with this brand new music with a brand new team, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
And we hope people like it.
Yeah.
Or maybe their grandma likes it, or grandma doesn't like it, or their uncle likes it.
Yeah, guys.
It's cool.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to be on Studio One.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to see you guys in real life and see you
one day.
One day.
Definitely.
One day.
Thank you so much for chatting with us.
For sure. Have a great rest of the day, man.
Hey. You too.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace.
Studio One.